The light within. In a village tucked between towering mountains, there lived a girl named Asha. She was unlike any other child in the village, not because of her looks or talents, but because of the quiet strength she carried within her. From the day she was born, Asha had a special glow in her eyes, a soft, flickering light that seemed to come from her very soul. The villagers spoke of it as a gift from the gods, but Asha herself never felt particularly special. As Asha grew older, her parents noticed something unusual. No matter how difficult a situation was, how dire the circumstances, she never gave in to despair. When the crops failed, Asha smiled and found new ways to make do. When sickness swept through the village, she helped care for the sick with unwavering patience. People often said that her light grew stronger in the face of darkness, but Asha never fully understood what they meant. One harsh winter, the village faced its greatest challenge. A terrible storm descended from the mountains, bringing with it icy winds and endless snow. The village was cut off from the world, and soon, food began to run out. The elderly and young children became ill, and the villagers were on the brink of losing hope. One night, as the wind howled outside, Asha's father, weak from hunger, took her aside. "Asha," he said softly, "we are running out of time. I fear for the village. There is nothing left to do." Asha felt a stirring deep within her, something warm and strong, pushing against the cold hopelessness around them. She didn't understand why, but she refused to believe that this was the end. "I'll find a way, father," she said, her voice steady. With only a small lantern and the clothes on her back, Asha set out into the blizzard. The snow came down in thick, relentless sheets, and the cold bit at her skin. But she pressed on, guided by an inner sense that something beyond the mountains could save them. Days passed, and Asha wandered farther than she ever thought possible. She faced wolves, freezing nights, and moments of doubt. But whenever she felt herself wavering, the light inside her grew warmer, guiding her steps. One evening, when her strength was almost spent, Asha found herself at the foot of a towering cliff. Above her, perched high up in the rocks, was an ancient temple. The temple was a place of legend, said to be the home of the eternal flame, the flame that could banish any darkness. Climbing the cliff was impossible in the storm, but Asha felt something urging her to go on. As she placed her hands on the cold, icy rocks, the light within her began to glow brighter, illuminating her path. With each step upward, the light grew stronger, pushing back the storm and warming her from within. When she reached the top, exhausted and weak, Asha entered the temple. In the center of the temple stood a brazier, and within it burned a single, small flame. She approached, her hands trembling, and knelt before it. "Please," she whispered, "I need your light to save my village." As she spoke, the flame flickered, then surged. The light from the brazier enveloped her, blending with the light within her own heart. In that moment, Asha realized the truth. This flame had always been a part of her. The light within her was the eternal flame, and it was only by believing in herself that she had found it. With newfound strength, Asha gathered the flame in her lantern and began her journey back to the village. The storm seemed to part before her, and the way home, which had been so treacherous before, now felt clear and safe. The light guided her, just as it always had. When she returned to the village, she found the people on the brink of despair. But when they saw Asha, her lantern burning brightly, hope returned to their hearts. She lit a fire in the village square, and the warmth spread through the homes and into the hearts of the villagers. The flame did more than warm their bodies. It lifted their spirits, driving away the darkness of fear and doubt. Over the coming days, the storm passed, the crops slowly began to recover, and the sickness lifted. The village was saved, not by a miracle, but by the light that Asha carried within her, both the physical flame and the inner strength that had never wavered. From that day forward, the villagers no longer spoke of the eternal flame as something distant, locked away in a temple. They spoke of it as something within each of them, a light that could grow stronger in times of darkness, just as it had with Asha. And Asha, who had once felt so ordinary, realized that the greatest gift she had ever received was not the light itself, but the belief in its power to overcome anything, no matter how dark the world became.